Hi, this is Coach AJ and you're watching another Fully Fit tip clip. If you enjoyed the content you're watching, make sure to subscribe down below. That way you can get new updates for new content that's posted on this channel regularly. Also in the comments below, check out the link to my Facebook page, facebook.com/livingfullyfit. Let's get into it. What motivates you? Think about what pushes you to succeed. Whether it's success in your job, success in a goal, success in your body, your goals to losing weight, to gaining muscle, or to a successful marriage or relationship, or any kind of goal you can think of. Think about motivation. What motivates you? Because what motivates you is going to be what helps you sustain that goal, or that dream, or that vision in your life. But depending on what motivates you is going to determine if it's sustainable. There are three kinds of motivations out there. You have your extrinsic motivation from the outside, motivation that is drawn from the out, not from the in, which is intrinsic motivation. That's that internal motivation that pushes you from the inside. It comes from you. And then you have your third one, which is your addictions. So let's break it down a little bit. For extrinsic motivation, that would be things like money, reward, recognition even, benefits. Those things are good and all, nothing entirely terrible with extrinsic motivation, but those aren't sustainable. They're not going to keep you going. After a while, someone dangling a carrot in front of your head isn't going to get you anywhere. You're going to forget the carrot, I don't want to do this anymore. Or, for example, sometimes extrinsic motivations could be fear. I knew when I was in basic training, that was an extrinsic motivation, was having a drill sergeant yelling at you. You don't want that drill sergeant yelling at you, so guess what? You shaped up and you did what you're supposed to do. That way you don't have a guy yelling at you, right? Extrinsic motivation. Or sometimes that extrinsic motivation is, well, I want to get that promotion, get that raise. But that is sustainable for only a short period of time. So what motivates you? Maybe it's intrinsic motivation. It comes from you. For example, that would be joy. That would be relief. That would be achievement, a sense of competence, that reassurance. Now, sometimes that internal motivation isn't always good. Sometimes you have some guilt there. You have some resentment that pushes you. But there's also a lot of good in intrinsic motivation. And I would say intrinsic motivation is the most sustainable motivation because it comes from you. As long as that's a positive motivator, it's going to keep you going long term versus extrinsic motivation, versus doing it for someone else or doing it for a prize. When you're doing it for yourself and doing it for your own personal joy, own personal gain, then guess what? Then it changes the motivation and you're able to sustain that yourself. When you're reliant on people on the outside motivating you, that's never going to be sustainable. It's not going to be long term. It's going to be temporary because people will fail you, systems will fail you, things will fail you, right? And the last one, we kind of just touched on this, was addiction. And how is that a motivator? Well, think about this. Think about, like, for instance, the idea of guilt and shame, for instance. A lot of times when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we see, ugh, that's a sense of shame. I look nasty, I look fat, or too skinny, or whatever it is. And so because of that, we get into the gym and we get super into it, to this crazy extreme diet or workout, to the point that that's the only thing we're thinking about anymore. And then we're addicted. That is our motivation. Because of my shame, because of my guilt, because of whatever, all I'm gonna do is do this thing. You see people that are like that, they're called gym rats, right? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being in the gym regularly, working out, but you have to have that balance. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a diet, but you have to have that balance. Like, I myself like to eat healthy. I myself have a certain caloric deficit per day. That way I can maintain my weight, but also shed off pounds. I have my goals. But that doesn't mean I don't splurge and have some cookies and some fried chicken and a beer once in a while, because I don't want to be addicted. I don't want the addiction to be my motivator because of guilt and shame, because of how I see myself in the mirror. So here's the thing. you have to ask yourself, the question is, what motivates you? If it's guilt and shame, that's something you need to address, because that is not a good motivator. That motivator is going to burn you out. So you have extrinsic motivation, which is not sustainable. It's going to fizzle away. You have addiction, which will burn you out, and then it'll go away. But the one that's going to keep you going is that intrinsic, that internal. What personal goals for you? I try to teach this to everybody that's about to lose weight or going into the gym, and I'd say, honestly, ask yourself the question, who are you doing this for? If you're doing it for someone else, you're wrong. Do it for you. If you want to get better at relationships, you want to get counseling, do it for you. If you want to get better with money, don't do it for someone to impress someone or have more money. Do it for you, because it's a personal goal. It's going to help you, your mental growth and health. Again, intrinsic motivation is going to be the biggest key to greatest success. So again, ask that question, what motivates you? Once you find and identify what your motivator is, find the right motivator that's going to keep you going, keep you on track, and get you to that goal and success you need. I'm Coach AJ, and you just watched another Fully Fit tip clip. Thanks for watching.